Hi everyone, and welcome to our MtoM Consulting Google Drive tutorial, a how-to guide. First things first, we'll be going over an overview of Google Drive, and then we'll be diving deeper into the more specific functions of Google Docs and Google Sheets. So what is Google Drive? Google Drive? Google Drive is a platform to create, organize, and share files and documents with colleagues and friends. On your left, you'll see a toolbar with some options: new, priority, my drive, shared with me, etc. My drive is where you'll find documents that you create, from docs to slides. The new button at the very top is how you create new documents. The shared with me tab underneath of my drive is where you'll find items that other people have shared with you. You might already be familiar with Microsoft programs that are very similar to Google Suite products. For example, Google Docs is similar to Microsoft Word, Google Sheets is similar to Excel, and Google Slides are similar to PowerPoint. While these programs are similar, they do have some slight differences in how they function. In Google Drive, you can upload directly from your hard drive. This allows you to upload files that are already on your computer. To do this, click the New button. If you're uploading individual files, select File Upload. If you're uploading from a pre-existing folder on your computer, select Folder Upload. To convert from the original file format, open the document and select the corresponding Save As option under File. Folders. A great tool that Google Drive has is creating folders to organize your work. To do so, click the New button at the top left. Folders have their own section in your Google Drive. Once you create the folder, you can right-click to show options, including renaming the folder, changing the color, and sharing directly from this menu. How to share. This is the main feature that draws people to Google Drive. In order to share a document, open the document and click the Share button in the top right-hand corner to open the sharing settings. Enter the email addresses of people you'd like to share with. You can set who can view, edit, or comment on your document. Click the Change hyperlink under Get Link to see the options. This allows you to toggle individual permissions so that one person may only be able to view the document while another person can edit the document. This is useful when sharing a document with multiple groups of people. Now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into Google Docs. Google Docs is very similar to Microsoft Word. In order to make a new doc, click the New button at the top left of your Google Drive main screen. Double-click Google Docs to automatically open a blank document. You can also choose to open a document from a template by hovering over Google Docs and going to that option. Working on a new Google Doc. When you open a blank document, this is what you'll see. In order to name your document, double-click on the top left corner where it says Untitled Document and type in your desired title. Much like Microsoft Word, you can change the font size, font, color, highlight, and all that good stuff right where you would be able to in Microsoft Word as well, up at the top bar of your toolbar. We've circled it in red here. It's possible to convert a Google Doc into a Word doc in order to save it from Google Drive onto your hard drive. In order to do this, click File at the top bar. Then select Download. Choose Microsoft Word as the file format. The document will then download to your computer, and you can open the document by double-clicking on your downloads. We'll note here that Google Docs and Microsoft Word are not a one-to-one file transfer. You may notice some differences in file formatting when downloading a Google Doc into a Word doc, and also vice versa. Spell check. Spell check is a great tool to double check your spelling and grammar. To get a detailed view of your spell check, click on Tools listed on the toolbar at the top. Select Spelling and Grammar. Click Spelling and Grammar Check, and Google Docs will point out spelling and grammar errors and suggest solutions. You can also turn on automatic spelling and grammar suggestions by clicking on Show Spelling Suggestions and Show Grammar Suggestions to see these options while working on your document. Adding headings. Headings are a great way to organize your document. By adding a heading, you'll have options that will pop up on the left-hand side menu, and you can jump directly from heading to heading. To do this, click Format at the top toolbar. Mouse over Paragraph Styles and select the heading level you want. To remove a heading, follow the above steps and select Normal Text over the text that you'd like to turn into normal text. Fonts and styles. Google Docs is interesting because the fonts that you'll find on Google Docs are slightly different from the ones that you'll find on Microsoft Word. Naturally, we have our standard Arial, Times New Roman, Calibri, and so forth, but you also have some fun different options. Selecting more fonts allows you to search particular fonts and more font options. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Google Sheets. This is similar to Microsoft Excel. To make a new sheet, click the New button at the top left of your Google Drive main screen. Double-clicking Google Sheets will open a blank document. You can also hover over the icon to select from a template. We're going to go over some common terms. A cell is a single data point or element in a spreadsheet, essentially one rectangle. A column is a vertical set of cells. A row is a horizontal set of cells. One worksheet is the named set of rows and columns making up your spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is your entire document containing all of your worksheets. One spreadsheet can contain multiple worksheets. This can be useful for scenarios such as organizing and tracking new members versus prospective members versus returning members. You can collect them all in one spreadsheet, but organize them under different worksheets. Working on a new Google Sheet. Similar to Docs, clicking the top left corner on Untitled Document will allow you to type in your desired title. You can also change fonts and font size, similarly to how you can on Google Docs. To resize a row or a column, click and drag the edge of the desired row or column to change the size. This can only be done by dragging the headers, shown here in a slightly darker gray color, in between the border between cells. So for example, between A and B or between 1 and 2, where we've shown the arrows here. And this can be done between the numbers 21 and 22 or the letters D and G. Adding data. It's possible to import data into a Google Sheet from somewhere else on your computer or your Google Drive. Once you create a new sheet, click on File at the top left, and then Import. Select a file from your drive, a file that is shared with you, or upload a new file directly from your computer. Depending on what you're trying to do, select Replace Spreadsheet, which will replace the entire spreadsheet, insert a new sheet, or create a new spreadsheet. It's also possible to insert graphs and functions, similar to Microsoft Excel. If you'd like to insert a graph, click and drag the data you'd like to turn into a graph. Then hover over Insert at the top toolbar. Drop down to Chart, and then edit the details in the chart editor pop-up. To insert a function, similarly, click and drag to select data, hover over Insert at the top toolbar, drop down to Function, and select the desired function. Thank you so much for your time today, and we hope we were able to help clarify some Google Drive functions.